do that. If you have done it properly, it will bring something, general Bible knowledge quiz. That's where you need to be. I picked. You can move also closer sometimes. Let's move closer. Go to the browser. Link your camera. Go palunanga kwa internet. Si kwa camera, nenda kwa browser. Chrome. There's a camera here. And normally, the camera can get dirty, so you have to have it. That be the camera. Yes. Then now, yes, so zoom in. If it's not, you can just move closer. Yeah, just move closer. Okay. Are we somewhere? See screenshot. It should open our website. So some of these things are simple things that we need to learn. QRs are the way nowadays you connect to the website. Instead of typing www, you do all those things, you just scan a QR and it takes you to our website directly. Habari pastor. Where is your phone? Msaidia. And then the QRs, one of the things you need to learn from the beginning, don't scan any QR that you don't know. Actually, some QRs can be viruses that have been put on QR form. So don't just scan anything you've seen a QR somewhere, you scan. Bad idea. Okay? And then, I've noticed you have, all of you have very nice phones. One big problem that people have, and it's a very simple problem, we normally touch our phones with our hands, and sometimes our hands can be oily. Then you touch the camera lens. Ile uko nyuma kwa camera lens. So it becomes blurry, and sometimes that affects even the quality of your pictures. Actually, sometimes the pictures, kitu nataka tu ni usugue tu hivi kwa nguo, upige picha, and that will be fine. Just make sure the nguo ni smooth, isiharibu pia scratch your lens. So one of the tricks of getting good pictures, make sure that the camera behind does not have vitu hapo nyuma mafuta na uchafu. It will improve your quality. So kila mtu, are we there? Admin? Oh, sorry. Kompyuta yangu ndio imeenda nini? When we are there, all of us, we'll do some exercise. So this is just the first part. Don't get out of that website. Ukifanya hivyo tu inafaa kukuletea open link. Open. So you imesha open. So internet hauna. Okay, are we there? Kwanza huyu kijana amesoma, so msumbue huyu amesoma hizo vitu. Sumbua huyo. Okay, are we there? All of us in? So there's another way of getting in there. You can go to a website called mentimeter.com. If you can see up here, this website here, you can go there, and then they will ask you for a code, and then there's a code that you can put. So this is another way of getting there if your phone is bringing problems. So menti.com, and then there's a code that they'll ask you, and the code is there. Okay? If we are all in, anyone who's behind, we don't want to leave anyone behind. Steve Bado? Endo wasaidie. Huyo kijana anasomea, tumelipa school fees mingi sana. Tena umetoka? Umetoka huko? Ngoja tu. Ulienda tena? Ngoja, uliguza kitu yote kingine mahali? Ngoja tu hapo. Kila mtu ako sawa sasa? Okay. So, there should be something on your phone sasa. Kuna kitu imechange? Kuna kitu imechange kwa phone yenu? Join. Nimeona watu 8 already, 8 players. Kuna mmoja ametoka tena. Yes, join. It's a quiz. We are doing a Bible quiz, so pia this will be a good time to refresh your memories on your Bible. Kuna watu bado? 9, yes. Mwingine? Kila mtu? Umejoin? Nesta? Kuna watu bado? Wewe pastor mwingia? Umemanage? Don't download the app. It's just the website. Msaidie. Okay, the others also can join in. As we move, you can still join in there. Go to menti.com. When you're on menti.com, there's a code up there. That code still takes you to where we are. Okay, now look at your phones. Those who are already in, we go to the next part. So answer quickly to get more points. So there are points awarded for correct answer, but also for answering quickly. So let me see. If it's in your phone, that question, you click on the answer. We shall click to the answer. Just click and we will stop here. And then the time is running out. 2 people still. 7, okay. So in what book of the Bible does the phrase, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom appear? Ni wapi? Ni Proverbs. Iko kwa Psalms pia. So in 1 out of 25. So next question. Let's go to the next question. We are ready? The answer quickly to get more points. So the awards points for correct answer, also for the speed. Who was the father of the Israelite tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh? 4 options. Umepata? Ni nani? Ni Joseph. Kuna watu wanasema Isaac. It's okay. I think ulikuwa unaharakisha mbio kidogo. But baba ya Ephraim na Manasseh ni Joseph. Haya, number 3. Okay. There, number 3. Ready? Hii ni our bright peke yake. Those ones who know the Bible will tell this one. Haijafika kwa simu yako? Imeshaisha time. So next 2 question. Hiyo imeshaisha. So ni nani? Aya, number 4. So get ready again. Inaonyesha yako? It shows that you are already there. Si ndio? Number 4 now. Is it saying anything? Okay. Aya. Next question ndio hiyo inakuja. Not one of the 7 churches. Not. Ni Corinthians. So wenye wamesema Philadelphia, Smyrna, Ephesus ni Corinthians. Corinthians haiko Revelation. Wenye amekuja mpya bado, you can scan the QR iko hapa juu. Learned friend, you can scan this one. Number 5. Ni nani? Anyeni wa bread, kila mtu ameshaanza. Chatuane answer. Yeah, so ni Stephen. Kuna mtu amesema John the Baptizer. Aya, next. What parable does Jesus tell to illustrate the importance of perseverance in prayer? Ni parable gani hiyo? So ni parable of the persistent widow. So wasio hiyo, wale wawili tafadhali. Aya. Question 7 of 25. Tutafika katikati, ikionyesha answers tunastopia hapo. Who was the first high priest of Israel? Nani alikuwa? Good. Ile siku tutakuwa na interchurch Bible quiz. I can say tutashinda. Okay. How many years did King Saul reign in Israel? This is a good one. How many years? Kuna watu bado wanafikiria 3 more. 1 more. Yeah, tumemaliza nani? How many? 40 years. Actually, sometimes people don't realize that it was 40 years. He was king for 40 years. Since 1985. Okay, I think 2 more and then we stop. We'll continue later when you have the opportunity. Msisahau hiyo. Hii ni Solomon sasa. Ni same. How many years did King Solomon? How many? Acha nione democracy in the answers. Well, it was 40 years also. A similar one. How many years did King David reign over Judah and Israel? Ni miaka ngapi? "40 years also." So the first three kings of Israel reigned for 120 years. Yes. Walikuwa na terms ngapi? Ilikuwa moja. Well, let's stop after this one. Our speaker amefika. Kuna watu bado wanafikiria. 4 people wanafikiria bado. Ni James, the brother of John. Mwenye aliuliwa na nani? King Herod. Sijui ni Antipas ama mgani alikuwa. Okay. I'm not sure kama imefika pali ya kuonyesha marks. Yes, good. So the person leading hapo ni nani? Agent X9. Ni nani huyo? Tumpigie makofi. Agent X9. Hey! Android. Ni wewe Android. Pigia Pastor Karo, umbe ni pastor ukweli. Hao wengine tusiulize sahi. This is half time, so game ijaisha bado. Sawa. Tutaendelea saa nyingine. Now we have a facilitator in the house. Thank you for coming, and we are ready to start now officially the session. Let's put our hands together. We welcome Daniel. David Lemayan, one of our members here, a friend of mine also. Atasema mengine kumuhusu akikuja hapa. Can come this way. Mpigeni makofi vizuri mpaka I feel important.
Mine would be, because I joined late, I probably would have joined, I probably was what? Number last. Entire squad. Yeah, I'll just do it.
It's also not you can connect.
Hi, good evening. How is everyone? Kwa majina naitwa David. How long do I have? Okay. How long do I have? Until 7:30. Okay, we'll try and make it short. We will not try and take it to that level. So, my name is David Lemayan. I am a technologist. I do a lot of technology work. And I also support currently a team called the Humanitarian Open Street Map Team, where we do a bit of mapping. We help put communities on the map. So I'm very fortunate to be a member of this church from a long time ago. Can you hear me? Amanini? Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so my wife and I, we moved to Eldoret actually last year because we wanted to get out of the hustle and bustle of Nairobi. But my wife herself, Ruth Nekura, who you might know, used to be here as a choir leader when she went to university in Moi University. And but yes, so today we're going to talk about Teams as a chat system and we're going to talk a little bit about artificial intelligence. So, mukuje na your questions. I think in both areas, I've been very fortunate to help organizations and people to adopt this new technologies and systems. And from a Kenya perspective and an African perspective, helping our policymakers, our peoples, to really think about, I think, artificial intelligence in a new way, or in a way that is very useful for us. There's been a lot of conversations around what technology looks like. And I remember when, of course, Pastor Ayeko used to say, when he said the other day, well, not recently, but a few sermons ago, that there was a time when the mobile phone was not allowed in church. And we were thinking of these devices as not being useful for our daily lives, or even, taking us in different directions. They've become to be shown to be both good and bad, but more good with how much, I think, apps and opportunities we have to engage and to connect, I think, with God in different ways. Everything from the Bible app to even things like Lectio 365 or Pause or other apps that really help you continue to meditate on the Word of God. So this session, we're going to talk about Teams. Nimeulizwa niongee juu ya Teams and Microsoft Teams. So I intend for this to be a very engaging session. Less of the slides and more of us talking and us answering the questions and the concerns that you have. So I'm going to start with a very simple question. How many of us use WhatsApp? By a show of hands. Okay, how many of us don't use WhatsApp? No one? Yeah? You use Facebook Messenger?
Those who if they don't use WhatsApp, maybe they use Facebook.
Okay, they use Facebook. That's very true. And they are owned by the same company. So, all of us use WhatsApp. How many here use WhatsApp for family reasons? To use them to connect with your family and talk. You have a cousins group or a family group. Everyone. How many use it for their Bible study? How many are on the Bible study challenge WhatsApp group channel? Or maybe for your community, is it everyone? Yeah, everyone, okay. How many use it for work? To be able to get things done. You're earning an income and you are talking to other people who you work with. Is it everyone as well? Oh, wow, it's everyone. Okay, cool. So then I'm going to ask one person. You will volunteer, or we will walk through and we'll talk about it. We'll pick a few random people. How has it been using WhatsApp for work? How many people do you usually have in your WhatsApp for work groups or for your WhatsApp direct conversation? So is anyone able to share their experience? Tunaweza kuhoji kidogo.
I think WhatsApp is quite convenient, yes, for communications, like for work. I'm the Sunday school pastor, yes, and there are many subcommittees and sections and departments in Sunday school. So WhatsApp has really helped. Like I think it could be up to 7 or 10 just Sunday school, different groups, different committees. So yes, that's how it has helped me. That's how I use it.
And let me ask you, how many people are in that WhatsApp group or community? How many teams do you work, or the subcommittees do you work in that WhatsApp community?
How many?
So you say there are 7 or 10 subcommittees.
Thereabout, yes.
Yeah. How many people are in those subcommittees?
Probably the biggest. The biggest has maybe, it's over 100. That's all the teachers.
100.
Then the next one now has like 50 or 60. And the rest are less and less. Like others have just 10, 15, 20. Yeah.
Okay, and so you're pretty much in all of these committees yourself?
Yes.
Yes, you have to be.
Because I had them.
You had them. How do you track the conversations that are happening? Do you come on there? Do you use threads? How do you share files? What is your experience with that?
I don't even know how to use threads. I see it on Instagram, but I don't know what threads is. In fact, when they say share on threads, I say no, because I don't understand it. So obviously on WhatsApp, I don't use the threads. So we just talk in the conversation. I just say what I want to say, and people say what they want to say over there, and we just read it as a message.
When you're trying to get things done, let's say you want to get a task done, is it discussed on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, it's discussed, but mostly when I really want a task done, now I call.
You call?
Yes.
So you won't use WhatsApp for that. You'll be like, hey, we need new books, for example.
Yes.
Or we need new textbooks. You'll call somebody who's in charge of that.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you remember to make sure that you have that conversation, they send you the list of books? Do you have a separate WhatsApp channel for that, or do you now start DMing?
No. Now I'm old school.
Pen and paper.
Pen and paper in my diary. Yes. So for those details, now they're in the diary.
They're in the diary.
I go back to the diary and I look.
Okay, thank you. That is your experience. Please, a round of applause. Does anyone else want to share about how they use WhatsApp for work? But that was at the Facebook offices 2 weeks ago in the UK, and they have this massive wall of people who can leave WhatsApp messages, essentially WhatsApp messages. So you go and you write on it, and that's how you leave a WhatsApp messages on this wall. So it's very old school as well. For Facebook, you do not type it in. Anyone else wants to share their experience? Who's feeling confident? Or shall I pick someone? I want to pick Percy. If I can. Yeah? Can I pick you?
I hardly use it much.
You hardly use WhatsApp.
I use WhatsApp for family, for church groups, and just for communicating, sending letters. That's all. Yeah.
Not for work as much.
Not for work as much.
Okay, there we go.
Old school.
That is also a response. Old school. Okay. A round of applause. Tafadhali. Sasa nataka Gen Z. Gen Z ni nani? Yes. There we go.
Yes, for my case, I use WhatsApp for schoolwork. They normally send assignments, also announcements. I also am in tech. I do coding. People always send me coding challenges to do this and that also. Thank you. Yeah.
And let me ask you, just as a question, are you in WhatsApp groups where you're working with other group members for your schoolwork, for example?
Yeah. But
So you have schoolwork and you sometimes do group work. Is that true?
yeah.
Yes, that's still the case. I don't know. In my days, there was group work. Maybe it's changed. Do you usually form a WhatsApp group when you're doing the schoolwork?
Yes.
Okay. And then how do you track files, or you do, say, for example, you need to write a document. Do you attach the documents on that group?
Normally, you do that document in a software, and then you send the file in WhatsApp.
So you send a link, or
Yeah.
a link of the, like on Google Drive or Microsoft Online?
Yeah.
Or do you attach the actual document?
You send the link.
You send the link.
Yeah.
Okay, Gen Z, they have more, no attachments. You just send the link into our own. Okay, very cool. And let me ask you a follow-up question. If somebody, say for example, was not in your group, okay, they're joining later, what happens? Do they know the conversation that happened before?
No.
No.
Yeah.
They lose that. They like join Mali Yuko too.
They just join and just continue.
Continue.
Yeah.
And then do they end up asking questions of some discussions you had, or sometimes they don't even know?
No, it's none of their business.
It's none of their business what was happening before. Okay, asante sana. All right, Makofi. Hold on to that, tafadhali, as we start off. So, what I like to talk about Teams or even Slack, which is an alternative to Microsoft Teams, is it's essentially WhatsApp for work. And why is it WhatsApp for work? Because there are certain things that, yes, you can do with WhatsApp. You can join groups. You can do amazing things with WhatsApp. You can share photos. You can share information. But then what Teams allows you to do, and these other productivity tools allow you to do, is to go further. One thing that we like to talk about with organizations I've worked with, and this is not to blanket, the thing is, has anyone ever heard of the bus factor? Bus factor. Okay, no one. If your leadership, or if you yourself doing some piece of work at work, you're holding something, if you got hit by a bus tomorrow, would your organization know everything that you know about the project that you're working on? Would they be able to pick up? I'm seeing no, seeing shaking of head. Would they be able to easily pick up where you've sort of stopped and paused, or hopefully you'll get better soon, and be able to continue without an issue? So that's usually a very important marker of any organization's ability to, it's a risk factor essentially, the ability of the continuity of any organizations. And that's why when you pick a tool that you want to use, whether it's a folder, whether it's a book, whether it's a WhatsApp, or whether it's Teams, it's always a good question to ask. If tomorrow anything happens, will you be able to continue well? I think there's very many cases where, for example, even having a computer, I don't know if everyone has heard this story, where the LANs records were being stored on one laptop for specific LANs, and then that laptop disappeared. And therefore, now we don't have any LANs details about those, those records. And we have to now recreate it. And when we recreate it, we can definitely recreate it the way we want it, which is a whole other story. So I will skip over the many reasons why you need to be always thinking about that, but also then to talk about how these tools can definitely make you a lot more productive. And this is what it is, Microsoft Teams. So what we'll talk through, and please feel free to stop me at any point. This is not meant to be a lecture. It's supposed to be a conversation, because Teams is all about conversations. We'll be able to talk through the introduction of what Teams is, and there's a lot of good resources online on how you can use Teams, so I encourage you to Google it or ChatGPT it. We'll talk about the features and the Teams requirements. The goal is for you to get an understanding of what Microsoft Teams can do for you, highlight the features that, as an organization, it helps to increase productivity, and also identify what you would need to run Microsoft Teams. What we want to talk about here is how to deploy Microsoft Teams, and I'll share all the slides after this. So settings, management of the Microsoft Teams if you've already used it, the overview of meetings or any of the chat services. Okay, so very quickly. So what's changed? A lot of how work was being done, and knowledge work for that matter, not digging holes, which also has changed, is that people used to be essentially in cubicles, and you're able to use a headset and receive calls and run your sales and marketing. Today, you are more likely to be in the committee function, being able to set up, you're in 2x more teams, than you are before. Before, you just had one line manager, and your boss was your boss, was your boss. While now, you probably sit in more teams, you're probably managing a lot more volunteers, you're managing a lot more people. And that takes a little bit more headspace to handle. Okay? So today, there was the agility. It would take longer to make and execute decisions. The quality of work, if you're not collaborating well, is worse. Innovation, discoveries of what could be somebody else is doing is less likely. So I'll tell you, for example, I work in an organization that spans 4 regions, Latin America, West Africa, East and Southern Africa, and Asia Pacific. And only 3 weeks ago or so, or a month ago, last month, I had to do a project proposal that actually a team in Asia Pacific had done. And I would not have known that information if we didn't have something like Slack or Teams. Because I just went in and said, hey, have we done any projects in X, Y, and Z? And it brought me all the information and all the background information and all the discussions that the organization has been having around that particular piece of work. And I was able to write the proposal, and we were actually able to get that project to now be done in East and Southern Africa. So very, very good for collaboration. So what it has, Microsoft Teams, is these 5 things. You're able to do groups, you're able to discover content, and you're able to control. Meaning that you can do the access controls properly. Now, I have access to all of this information because we're at leadership level, but then somebody else might not have access to that because they might not cut across teams. So email and schedule you're able to do. You're able to create and share and find content. You're able to call. You're able to chat and of course, connect across the organization. For chat-based workspaces in Office 365, it really works in these ways. It's a chat system for today's teams. It's not just WhatsApp. It's WhatsApp for work. It's a hub for teamwork, meaning that you can be able to collaborate in different ways. If you want to go old school and call somebody, you can do it there. If you want to be able to send a message to the Gen Z and be like, VP, or I don't know what the Gen Z say these days. Ni hao, I don't know. What is it? So, what is that? To say hello in Gen Z? VP. Is it still VP? Sema. Niaje. No? It's old school. Eh? Our same is crazy. Ni emoji. Emoji. Waving emoji. Stop. Ama ni sticker. Ama ni GIF. Hi cousins. Or something like that. So then that allows you to sort of, for example, talk and work. There's security, teams, and trust. So meaning that you're able to have those access controls. The leadership team can have its own space that it talks and has conversation. I did this organization recently, and I have access to all of the background information that the leadership team has been talking about. It's made my life 1,000 times easier to get up and running. It's customizable as well, so you can be able to put all of your logos. Very quickly, I'll talk about what the features that make this thing happen. And your most important thing is your teams and your channels. So if you think about it in WhatsApp terms, it's your communities and your groups. So your teams and your channels are essentially the same idea. In fact, WhatsApp just essentially copied these ideas because they saw that groups are not enough. You need communities, and therefore it helps you run these bigger groups or bigger communities better. For your teams, it's very simple. It's the overall group of the team that's working on something. So for example, you'll have a community or a team. Here in this example, it's AdventureWorks. or designers, or Contoso. So these are the different teams, and within each of the teams, you can have, for example, the channels, which is general, team events, presentation, marketing. What you can do with those teams, you're able to add people, give them access, give them the roles, give them the permissions, and make sure that they're assigned correctly. And they're able to set up their own channels as well. So creating your team is very simple. You just use email addresses, and then you're able to set up with the security groups, or rather the settings of the security or the access privileges that you need. Channels, as I mentioned, are these things. So for example, marketing channel will have a conversation. You can see a conversation right there. You can see the files, and you can see the notes. So this is where, for example, you're able. Can people at the back see this? It's a bit. You can see it. Okay, good. It's legible, or rather, you can see things. So this is where you have your conversation, your chat system, and then you can even see some of the files that you can attach and you can put in there. Creating channels is very simple. You go into a team, and then you can be able to say, hey, let's add a channel. So this is a new team. It's called Northwinds Trading. You're able to say, hey, let's add a channel there. And you're able to say, let's have an ops channel, or not. The team owners, there can only be 10 team owners per team. And owners are able to add new members and other owners. They can manage team settings. They can rename the team. And they can also delete the team. The team members, however, they can be as many as 600 per team, and members can add additional channels to the team. So meaning that those 100, 200, even more than 500, right, people are able to be part of one team, and then they can be given access to create their own channels as they need, or be able to comment and to have those conversations. Let's talk about productive chat very quickly. This is my favorite feature of any of these systems, okay? When you start a conversation about anything, so for example, this isn't very clear, so I'm going to try and see if I can, yes, you can be able to zoom in. So you can see, for example, in this thread, or rather in this workspace, there are a few different conversations that are happening. I don't know if you've ever experienced that in WhatsApp. There's one person talking about football, there's another person talking about cricket, and there's another person talking about cooking. Okay? And you will think that somebody is cooking a football. Okay? They've made a new recipe for that cricket ball. And you never know whether it's a cake that they're talking about, or they're actually talking about the India team winning. All right? Why? Because all of that conversation is in one continuous flow. Right? It's difficult. I don't know if anyone has ever tried. I come back after a weekend of being offline to our WhatsApp group. And I'm like, what? 2,000 messages. What have we talking about? Who decided that this was a conversation we're starting? So here you can see, for example, now, hey everyone, I'm back from vacation, wanted to say hi before we all get crazy with this launch. You see then that people start saying, hey, welcome back, hi everyone, welcome back, Marie, whatever. But then you want to have a serious conversation about missing assets. You can then now break that down. You can just go to that conversation and be like, hey, have you noticed missing asset? I'll make sure it's a correct asset. Thanks for being on top of things. And then you can have an entire conversation on that without having to clutter the rest of the conversation about like everything. So that threads is being able to segment the topic of discussion. It's mind-blowing. It's a lot more productive. Okay? You're also able to like and save messages. So for example, right now in WhatsApp, of course, you can do the thumbs up emoji and all of that. You can do reactions. This one, you can even save it. In Slack, you can do one thing better. You can say, remind me about this conversation tomorrow, right? You don't want to miss it, right? But you don't want to act on it right now, okay? So you can say, hey, please remind me about this message tomorrow at X, Y, and Z. I have messages that I say, hey, I will talk to you tomorrow. I set it, and I remind myself tomorrow to actually come back to it because I don't have to think about it. And then you have analytics as well. So you're able to see, you're able to have the same conversations around specific documents. So for example, say I post this document, which is social media analytics of whatever it is. So I post that on a channel. I want to have discussions about it, right? In WhatsApp, you reply, right? So you're able to reply to a discussion. But can you see what everyone else wrote about it easily? No. You are writing in the ether. You cannot tell if there were 100 conversations about it, if anyone has given other comments. So what Teams allows you to do is definitely break that down, and you're able to see, once you open the document, you're able to have that, again, conversation on that. You're able to mention people, right? So on WhatsApp groups, you're able to do the same thing. And that's very useful because I tell you for sure, I'm in so many groups in my situation, in my current role, that if you do not mention me, I will ignore that until next week, okay? But this one makes it so easy. If you want to get the attention of somebody specific who you know needs to respond to something, you mention them. Say, at somebody. They get a notification. And then, of course, Gen Z amjacho nyuma, emojis, and GIFs, Zico. I also enjoy them myself as a millennial. So you're able to, of course, do the same thing with this. Next and hopefully last, I'll have just two more things, and then we'll close up the session of the Teams. And if you have any questions, we'll open the floor. Private meetings, so private chats, you're able to, of course, still do the DMs and be able to say, hey, these are the conversations, this is what's happening, you can share files. So that's still very possible, just the same way you have in WhatsApp. You can also do group chats, so meaning that maybe you don't want to create a channel, you just want 2-3 people together very quickly to chat about something. Very possible. I can put, Bosire in there, I can put somebody else, Didi, in there and be like, oh, hey, how do you think this session went? Without having to create a rather large channel. As we mentioned, you can share files. These are, if you are connected to OneDrive and you have all your files there, you can access them very easily in that way. Again, I'm going to just run through this very quickly because I'm done with my favorite thing that you should definitely take. Meetings, you're able to start a meeting. So have you ever been asked, hey, where's that Zoom link? Has anyone asked that question? Yeah, where's that Zoom link? With Teams, you start the actual meeting within that conversation. So it'll be there. So you don't even need to ask. You're just like, oh, I'm there. So very, very, very useful setting. You'll also be able to notify people to say, hey, at everyone, the meeting has started. At team, you're able to mention the team. So you can say, for example, marketing team, you understand that everyone in marketing team needs a notification. You can say at marketing. You don't need to mention everyone individually. Which is very, very useful. I can tell you that for sure. Because you don't want to remember who everyone in the marketing team was. Again, as I said, you can find the meeting very easily and jump into it and join it and run it. Okay. There are a few other features that are relatively good. They say that this full width screen idea You can share your own screen. You can even see the meeting history, meaning that you can know, when did we have this last meeting? What was the chat history around it? And it's right here. So you don't even need to ask about the comments that were even in the chat meeting. You see the social media planning, and you can see the chats within it. Very, very useful if you want to go back to your notes. You can schedule the meetings, and you can run them. I can really encourage you to use this as well, to just get organized with your teams. Something that you cannot really do with WhatsApp is have your links to important folders or important documents. These tabs and connectors really helps you to do that. For tabs, you can see at the very top, you have let me zoom in for the people in the back. I've always wanted to say that in church. Okay, for the people in the back, you can see conversation, you can see files, so meaning that it's like the media gallery, but this one is files. But you can add more tabs. You can add your notes. You can say, hey, if you just want to look at notes, this is where you want to go. You can add your roadmap, meaning that if you want to be able to add more information that you want to quickly access, you use your tabs. Okay. You, of course, have your default tabs right there, which is your files, notes, and others. But you can always add more. And then you add a tab in this way. Okay. The planner is great for tracking your tasks. So I used to do a lot of coding, like yourself. And I used to forget a lot of things that I need to be writing as code. Now I keep everything in a planner or in a to-do list like this. I don't know if you've ever tried to use a notebook to try and remember everything you have to do, and then you come back to it like 3 months later and you're like, what was I not supposed to do? Or what was I supposed to do? This is great because it not only allows you to do your tasks yourself, but it allows you to do your tasks with your teams, okay? So we have a little board with, for example, with our small team at the media in the website development for SPF, and we're keeping track and working together on different tasks. So, for example, we'll say, hey, we need to collect photos of SPF Barini. I tag Bosire here. I'm like, hey, at Bosire, is this in progress? Can we get it? And he sends me on that same system, and he's able to see the progress that we're making. So it gives visibility to the entire team. So I can really, really encourage you to use this system. You can be able to chat about a tab and be able to make comments. And then connectors you're able to connect to other services. So for example, I use Trello a lot, which is what I use for planning and task management. But you could connect into Twitter. So every time a tweet is sent out on SPF Church, it goes to your conversation. You're seeing it. You're engaging with it. You're talking about it. If a new blog comes out, you're seeing it automatically. So it's very fantastic. And there are many connectors that you could use, even AI connectors. All right. So bots, these are a little bit, and this is the place where we're almost getting into our AI session. You have different bots that allow you to do repetitive tasks or ask for help with things. For example, if somebody posts a specific question or a specific note, you can be able it automatically responds. So you don't even have to engage. So for example, if somebody posts a question, where is that help article? The bot will come and respond even before anyone else. So it's very, very good. And you can build your own bots. So to run Microsoft Teams very quickly, you just need a license, one of these. Your organizations are recommended to have SharePoint and mailboxes. You can use it with any of these. You can use it on the web, which is fantastic, meaning you don't need to install any new app. But you can also install an app, and it supports all of these. So whose device is not covered here? I can talk to Microsoft. I'm being serious, but also yeah. Okay, cool. But also, yeah, they're very good at covering everything. So getting started, these are some links that you can definitely use. I'll leave these up because they are quite a few. But we have also resources, of course, in terms of everything, of the videos and everything. So I'll leave this up if you want to learn more, how to get started and check out anything else. But Asanteni, I will open up for questions. Nani yuko na swali? All right.
So, will AI take over our jobs?
The AI discussion is coming up next, so that one I will answer in the next segment.
Thank you for the presentation. I would like to know, could you do, please, a quick run for us, like the pros and cons between Teams and Google? Yes. Just Google generally, because Google you can also collaborate and do all the other things you're talking about. So just do a bit like a pros and cons kind of thing. Yeah. Yes, please.
All right. So yes, that's a very good question. Sorry, was it? Yes, very good question. So what is the difference between Teams and the Google suite of tools? So how Google approaches it, they don't have a specific, so they have a chat system, but it's not as developed as Teams at the moment. You'll see it sometimes if you have a Google for Business account. It's on Gmail, you can see it there. Google gave up on that endeavor to try and do something that competes with Teams. I'd more likely compare Teams with something like Slack, S-L-A-C-K. How do I compare the two? I think Teams is very much connected with the Microsoft suite of tools. So if you use Microsoft Office, if you use Microsoft SharePoint online, Microsoft Teams fits right into that, what you're doing. But if you use Google and Google's suite of tools, you should use Slack. Because it's a lot better connected, and it sort of is like the Microsoft Teams of Slack. So pros and cons, I'd say if you're trying to do a chat system or WhatsApp, essentially for business, stick to Microsoft Teams. If you're trying to do more the email, Google Drive integrations, it's a very, you're much more simple interfaces, go for Google, is what I would really suggest, because Google wants it very simple. I think and then the Microsoft experience is more, you want more advanced features a lot early on. You should use Teams.
Yeah, thank you for that. The reason I'm asking is because basically the tech ecosystem, you still have to work in a group. Yes. Yeah, there is the idea of groups or teams. It's not like these other careers which are just, they're not independent, but you understand, when it comes to work tech, you really just have to be in a group. So that's why I really wanted to know. So like Google, you would say you would need like 2 apps sort of for you to be able to be effective, but Microsoft is like it's all in one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And people can be very specific about like what they want to use.
Good evening, everyone. Now, for me, I'm really not getting the sense for all these things. Because, like, when I want to have a meeting with a group of people on WhatsApp, we just decide at 7 p.m., let us chat, let's talk. And we talk. and we talk and finish. And I've never seen any problem with it. And the good thing about the WhatsApp, we don't even have a link, but we are in a group. Then we talk. We can decide if it is video call or we are just talking. And I've never had a problem with it. Then there is also the Google Meet. I don't know whether it's the one she was referring to. We also talk, and I've never seen a problem with it. So I'm wondering why all these other things.
That's a very good question. And I think that's why we started with the premise of definitely how work used to be and how people engage. In some cases, it's still this case where you're most likely handling probably just one team or one interface. Like, it's not a lot of people who you're talking to or engaging with or need to get anything done with. In those cases, perfectly fine. Once you get to over 5 or 10, in my case, it's hundreds of different teams that need your visibility on, that cognitive load of remembering a meeting at 5 p.m. or 7 p.m., it becomes more. Being able to have to pick up, where is this information? Where should I be joining? Where should I be at? Right now, I live by my calendar, and Basire knows this. If it's not on my calendar, I won't show up. Because it's a lot of cognitive load it's called cognitive, essentially the amount of thinking or remembering you have to do. It's a lot. And then you start having things called decision fatigue and, not knowing where you're supposed to be. And then you miss a lot of things and balls drop. So, yes, in some cases, it's too much. Don't use it. It's overblown. In other cases, for some people, it's very useful when you're starting to have to consider all of this. But you're very right. Sometimes it's not needed. So make a judgment call. These things, at our phone, you don't need a phone. I have a friend who works without a phone. Doesn't own a phone, hasn't owned a phone for the past 15 years. And he functions very well. He survives on his laptop. That's it, yeah. But no phone. So yes, I agree. It might not be needed. Do you have a follow-up question? Or did I not answer the question? I can say.
Okay, I interpret tongues sometimes. Yeah. I think the main reason maybe she's asking, if you don't have any follow-up to do, any notes to take, anything to remember after the meeting, then WhatsApp is okay. But if you are having a meeting that you need to take notes in, you need to remember, it's an official thing. Actually, for social life, WhatsApp is okay. But for anything work, or now in our case, ministry, then that changes. Because we were talking to Pastor Caro, she has a lot of information, but it's on hard copy. Yeah. So if the office burns down, we've lost everything. So one of the things that we are helping to do here, and you are a home care leader, for example, you're having a home care meeting, instead of sharing the file on WhatsApp, and then people have to download, and then again open, and then close the WhatsApp, and then look at the file, and then close the WhatsApp again, and then look at the... In Teams, it's the same thing. You can see all of you the same file. So you don't have to have everyone opening their file different places. So this is about to simplify ministry especially. So this is the idea. We have WhatsApp, hatutoki WhatsApp, hapo tuko ni social. But ukikuja ministry serious things, and then Teams has memory. So whatever you do, for example, you can even record the meeting. You can say record this home care. Then those people who missed can pick up later and see what happened. You can take notes. You can see who came for home care. You don't have to have a register or whatever. It will tell you these are the people who came. The good thing is that we have done this. Many of you, I think, have been on the prayers in the morning, early morning prayers. So for those early morning prayers, there's all the ones that we've had. There's a list of all those people who've been coming for prayers. If you want to know, we can say, now tell us who comes for prayers. So that's the idea behind this. And then, as a church, we have a privilege. That's one of the things that we should thank God for. Our church is duly registered with the government of Kenya. That gave us the ability to request for non-profit status with Microsoft. So we have the full 365 for non-profit status as a church. How much will that be? You have to say it in Kenyan shillings.
Like hundreds of thousands of Kenya shillings. Yeah.
Per year, actually. It's a license that you renew. Per month, actually.
Per month,
Per users,
100,000.
yes. By the
Depending on the size.
Imagine. And we are using it for free. We are using it for free because our leadership has done the good job of making sure that we are registered officially. So this is why we are trying to get our ministry movements to be on Teams. After we've left here, people will come and find Teams. They'll know whatever has happened. They'll have the meetings, the elders, the meetings. If you're an elder and then you had meetings and you've uploaded your files, anyone who joins that channel or that team will be able to find the necessary things they need. I think, that is part of the background that may be missing from me.
That's good, relevant context. Thank you. Yes.
I have a question. Between these software tools, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, and Zoom, which software is good for doing live webinars?
Okay, for live webinars specifically, Zoom is great for that. Live webinars, and there's a very good reason why. They've done the technology for being able to do video calls and being able to do all of this very, very well. So for live webinars, which is public facing, I would go for Zoom. All right. You also have to pay for that, which Bosire will talk to them nicely. Great. Okay, I have a question back there. We can pass the mic. But I don't know if there's a question. Okay, good.
Praise God. I think in this church, our ministry is the biggest consumer of Teams, that is media. The biggest advantage we got is the space of uploading. I didn't know about it. So I have a free, like the photos and everything that I can just upload. Now, I have a question about another ministry that really appreciate it is Ladies Fellowship. Ladies Fellowship, they normally have meetings after meetings. So I'm the one who normally create for them link. So another aspect that people don't know is that reusing the same link that you have. Like for them, I just created link for them once, and that's all. So my question is, there are those who are not for this organization. So every time I have to add them in, like wako kwa kitu ka waiting room. So saa zingine maybe niko jikoni ama wapi, niko kwa nyumba, unasikia unapigiwa simu, hey, ni add in. Okay, is there a way I can make it automatic, like because they are not member of the organization, they are seen like an outsider. So how can I make it for them into automatic if they can lay in, like if you allow them once, it's okay.
Yeah, no, there's a setting for that. It's literally allow anyone to join the call. So Google also has that same setting. So it's setting. So we can look at that a little. In my tent. But very good question. Thank you. And thank you for that point. Actually, the size of storage that you have there is fantastic. Like you can really, really do a lot more with that. Okay, Amanda. Thank you. So any questions?
So one of the problems I think with that one is when you are a user of Teams, but you have not been verified. That's one of the biggest issues. So wewe utawekwa pending kwa sababu hukujui vizuri sana, unaweza ingia meeting utake over. So one of the things we'll be doing is to create a video on how you can verify your email so that you don't have to do that again and again. After that, you should not have issues joining any meeting. In any organization, actually, not just the one for the church. And then there's something else I wanted. Yeah, I was one day I got a call from Safaricom. They have a chapel something system. So somebody asked me to preach on there. And I was wondering, nitafika aje Nairobi? This is the whole of Safaricom Kenya mzima. But actually they were doing it online through Teams. So niliingia tu hapa juu, nikafungua laptop yangu, and then I preached to Safaricom people, the whole country. Safaricom pay for that. That's what you are hearing, about hundreds of thousands per month. Sisi tuna enjoy hiyo maisha vizuri kabisa. So we need to appreciate this more. And then, for example, home cares, the committees, instead of having separate meetings, mtu akishatoka ni secretary, nothing remains in the office. If we move all those things to Teams, upload those minutes, those people who come in will have at least somewhere to start from. They'll have memory of the organization, memory of the ministry. That's the reason we are trying to do this.
So now, I think, Bosire, this one is directed to you. If I'm getting you well, like I know for Sunday school, we have, I think, 1,000 minutes. So we can even upload them like now, belatedly.
Yes. Actually,
belatedly, we can upload all those minutes.
Yes. And then, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. You have an spf.church email.
Yes.
That has 1 terabyte space in the cloud for you.
Okay.
So, iwe peke yako, si ati ni mimi, yangu pia ni 1 terabyte. So you can upload everything you have on there.
Okay.
Yes.
Sawa. Nafikiri utanifanyia classes now from today.
Okay, so we've done Microsoft Teams. Are we feeling good about it? Are we going to use it? Yes? Yes. You? Sorry, as to what?
I'm asking, where are we as a country in terms of Teams? You use, that adoption.
Wow, that's a good question.
I'm asking, where are we as a country in terms of adopting Teams?
Adopting Teams, wow. That's a good question, because do you mean the government adopting or different organizations within Kenya adopting?
Generally, is it more in the private, or is it just something that is more like individualistic depending on the organization?
Yeah, it very much depends on the organization. If your organization prioritizes these kinds of productivity, you'll find like a lot of them adopt it. But if your organization prioritizes something else, it's going to be something else. And then we shall compare notes at the end of the year or something, I don't know. Great, perfect. Do you have a question? No? Okay, helping me with that. Perfect. Asanteni sana. So we have some small time to talk about artificial intelligence. Wow. Nimesikia mtu amesema wow. Aki wow. So that's an exciting topic for me, because about 2-3 years ago, when was it? Yeah, I think it was 2-3 years ago. I was using these AI systems to write some software, and it completely blew my mind, because I was able to be productive. I was able to do what I used to have 4 programmers do by myself in a much shorter period of time. And at that moment, I asked all of my friends who are chief technology officers, hey, how are you adopting artificial intelligence for your work? Because this thing is going to like revolutionize whatever you think is going to happen. And they said, oh, we don't know, we're not sure, fast forward 3 months later, they all were saying, hey, what is this AI thing, and how should we make sure that we're not left behind? And then fortunately, our government has now a national AI strategy, that is the Kenyan government, and at an Africa level, we're now thinking of how to adopt AI within the broader perspective. But that is not the point of today. The point of today is, I want to just give you an overview of what AI is. You'll have more questions than answers in this session, but that's the beauty of science and of these kinds of inquiries of technology. You get to learn. I want you to learn enough to be able to understand it and know how it applies to whatever you're doing and whatever you need to do. And also, I want you to understand it enough to be curious, to learn more. Because the more you learn, the more you know. I don't want you to then, walk outside and be like, oh, I'm an AI expert. No. Please, no one. I am not a bit. But again, please, we will have a conversation. Let's have more questions. And let's enjoy the session. So I'm going to try and do this. Hopefully it will show up correctly. Okay. So this is going to be your introduction to AI. First of all, the first question that I have does anyone have an idea of what AI is? Oh, there you go. The coda. Tuone. No pressure.
So AI is the ability of a computer to mimic human behavior.
That's a good answer. To mimic human behavior. So if I can dance like this, it can dance. What is human behavior?
What we do.
What is it we do? A guess. Just take a guess. Don't. It's not a test. There are no wrong answers. What do humans do? Oh, there we go. You have a supporting. Your group work.
Yes, good evening. Yeah, my name is Sami Kimtai. So I think artificial intelligence in full is, AI is artificial intelligence. So by intelligence, I think it's like the computers can think, sort of, yeah. So it's like they sort of think, yeah.
So I'm going to ask the same question. What is thinking?
Thinking is, thinking. It's information. It's about any. For AI, I can say is the computer. It has so much information, so it can give you what you want. So whatever you ask it, it will respond accordingly to what you've asked it to do. Yeah.
Good answer. Thank you. Thank you both. You're both correct. So a round of applause, please. And it's that breakdown. It's sort of, there are two things to this: artificial and intelligence. So you have to be able to break down those two things. All right? I will not talk about thinking. Bosire is here. He can do that exercise with you. But it's a very metaphysical idea of being able to say, how do you know that you're thinking? And what tells you that you know that you're thinking or not thinking? Have you ever heard of these questions? Yeah? Yeah. If you had a philosophy class, that one, hey, Immanuel Kant and who else? All of those people. Aristotle. Okay, so before we work on artificial intelligence, why don't we do something about natural stupidity? So what is AI? So there are a lot of definitions about AI. This is one of them. Artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science that aims to create systems capable of intelligent behavior. Okay? Intelligent behavior meaning that whatever behaviors or, again, things that we do appear or are intelligent in their workings. AI systems perform tasks like learning. Again, perform tasks. All right? They don't make decisions. They perform tasks. A human makes decisions. Performs tasks like learning, understanding language, recognizing patterns, and problem solving. Okay, so those are the key terms, right? So learning, understanding language, recognizing patterns, so patterns in things, and problem solving. Human intelligence simulation. So what is human intelligence, right? So AI aims to simulate human intelligence by creating systems that can analyze data. Alisema data mingi. Kuna data mingi. So it analyzes that data and makes, it doesn't make decisions, sorry. I made that mistake. But it does not make decisions, but it makes it's able to perform tasks off of that data. Okay? So the evolution of AI, does anyone know what this one is called? Cynthia? Cynthia, where? Synthropus. Okay. That one. The idea here is that we had the spoken word that came up around 100 the spoken word is thought to have come 100,000 BCE. The written language, as we understand it, writing, was around 3,300 BCE. The printing press was created 1440 CE. So this is where we were able to make copies of data or of writing at a mass scale. Telegraph, radio, all of these things came before artificial intelligence, but they are all what have allowed us to do it. So the second thing is that other than our technology improving in terms of its capabilities of collecting and analyzing data, our networks, being able to share data across different networks has really improved as well. I'm going to skip that one. So a brief history is that AI research began in 1956, where a bunch of scientists asked this very simple question. We have this calculator, okay? When is it able to understand or generalize the ideas that we hold as general, right? So we're able to tell a computer 1 + 1, and it's able to do its mathematics, and it gives you 2, okay? That's a calculator. If I was to tell a calculator, what is the meaning of life? What will it say? It can't. It doesn't even understand that as a question. It's starting to get onto the area of things. So the idea here is simple. While you are able to not store, so for example, if I do 1 + 1, if I do 1 × 2, if I do 1 × 3, the calculator is not storing all of this information and then accessing it, right? It's able to do operations, right? So it's able to say 1, the number 1, + 1 will give me this number, right? It stores operations. It doesn't store the whole times table or the whole plus table. It's able to do those. Now, what artificial intelligence and the research that they were trying to do is to understand is, can we be able to take that further into other aspects? Can we take it into spoken word, into written word? You cannot store the entire ideas or questions that anyone can ask in a database, but you can certainly store ideas of or operations in terms of, if somebody asks this general question, this is the sort of idea or kind of ideas, as somebody said, it's starting to get to predict to where you're getting answers to. There are 3 key concepts in this. There's machine learning, so meaning that these are algorithms. Who can remember logarithms? Huh? Logbook. This is not what that is. It's not logbooks. This is algorithms. These are essentially the operations. So it's able to say, if I have, for example, a word like cat and, what, and? Cat and mouse. There you go. What is the likelihood of it being mouse and not cat and dog? Or cat and lion? Cat and cheetah? Cat and cricket? It's able to do that calculation in terms of the word sort of asymmetry. So it's able to learn and do those predictions by being able to learn to do that machine learning. So it runs through all of the written language. So for example, it'll be able to start by saying, hey, can I read the entire Bible? Okay? And it's able to say, when you're able to say, hey, Jesus wept, right? Okay, that's the simplest one. When you start typing on Google, you're able to say, what is the best cooking advice or cooking recipe for ugali, okay? It might not give you ugali, right? It might give you something else. It might give you chapati. Why? Because most people are posting their recipes for chapati instead of ugali, okay? So it's the same exact thing. That is machine learning. It's that it's using a prediction engine. It's essentially taking all of this information and being able to do a breakdown of what is most likely to do. And natural language processing, it takes the natural language that we speak, and it's able to understand it. So beyond that machine learning, because you can apply machine learning to language, but you can also apply it to numbers. We're doing actually a very interesting project with, what are they called? Buffalo Millers on some machine learning work, which is fantastic. We're tracking moisture content of the maize. Neural networks. Now, this is a little bit more interesting. So neural networks was a concept that was developed to try and mimic the brain, okay? God is the greatest creator of any technology, I'll say that. So what these scientists try to do is they've now understood that how our brains work are in a neural pattern. So essentially, we are able to have electrical signals that pass through specific neurons, and that lighting up of the neurons, which we have billions of in our brains, then is able to understand what we see, how we speak, how we move, all of these things. Okay? It's very interesting. So they took that same idea, and they essentially are able to say, if I have, and no one has made the number of neurons that we have in our brain, not even close, that if we have cat and mouse, it's able to check cat and dog. Oh, no. Cat and horse. No. Cat and something else. And then it's able to say, no, let's rank it according to this. And it's able to generate, according to that neural movement, an entire sentence or an entire book in more recent cases. And those are the three concepts in AI that you need to know. It's very simple. It's not magic. It's literally math and a bit of science. So machine learning, as I mentioned, is you learn from data. So you learn from data, meaning you have a lot of data, and then you make predictions. So I'll go to the use cases very quickly. Natural language processing is it understands how language works, and it's able to respond to inputs that are given. So applications of AI. In healthcare, you have doctors using artificial intelligence to be able to predict the growth of cancer at an unprecedented sort of accuracy and early point than any other doctor that would do it without AI at the moment. It's able to understand that the growth of a tumor or the growth of specific cells takes this pattern. Why? Because AI is able to match those patterns very quickly and notice, if I see this kind of pattern, this could be a tumor growth. And so doctors are using that imagery to then be able to screen patients a lot sooner. In finance, Safaricom uses these things to identify patterns of fraud. They do a great job at it, and they're really improving in terms of being able to understand even how things are working. And then transportation, Uber already, if you've used Uber or you've used Bolt or if you've used anything, for it to be able to find you very easily, it uses artificial intelligence. Entertainment. Did you know that the Netflix trailer that you watch, how many people have watched Netflix? Sorry, maybe I'm just Netflix. Yeah? Netflix? Yeah. Okay. Did you know that the trailer that you watch is not the same that I would watch? Yeah? For any movie. So if you see a little snippet of the movie that it suggests to you on Netflix, it's not the same thing that I'm watching. What Netflix have done is they've understood that if Bosire likes action movies and I like romance, it then goes to the particular scenes exactly. It then cuts to the particular scenes that are tailored to what I like. Yeah. So that way it makes it more likely for you to watch the actual. So Netflix pre-cuts these things for thousands of movies at like they don't have people working. They just have AI watching the movies and deciding, you like action, I'm going to show you action scenes for these movies. And it's fantastic. It's actually very good. So you're able to personalize this very well. So as I mentioned, diagnostics, treatment plans, predictive analytics. So for example, for treatment plans, there's so many things that make you that when your doctor, and of course for any doctors, when any doctor tries and prescribes something, they only can work with so much information that you're giving them in the moment. But with something that can be able to get a lot more information about you and your environment, it can really change the kind of therapy that is prescribed to you. And you're seeing a lot better prescriptions and therapy recommendations from doctors just by doing those personalized treatment plans. Whether you're pregnant, or whether you're having a cough, or whether you're having, a migraine, it's able to understand much better. Oh, you shouldn't take Panadol. Maybe you should take ibuprofen instead or something else. And then predictive analytics. We're actually using this quite a bit in healthcare, where we're able to predict cholera outbreaks. We're able to predict, pneumonia cases just by looking at things like weather patterns, things that we weren't able to do before, and even quality of water sources and even past incidences of things. It's very good. It's getting better every day. Transportation, as I said, we're going to be flying and driving without anyone in the car seat. So that will be very fun. There are a few things that are moving towards. Sorry, what's that? Self-driving cars. You've not seen self-driving cars yet? No? Okay, I'll show you a video. If it's fun to be in a car with no driver, it's very fun. It's very fun. It's very fun. The other day, a cop stopped a self-driving car. I don't know if all of you saw this, and tried to give a ticket. And when they came up, they saw no one in the driver's seat. And so they just let it go. So there you go. No tickets. There's no law yet for it. Who do you give the ticket to? But they're coming up with the laws for it. So this was, So some common misconceptions about AI. AI, because you have access to it, doesn't mean everyone else has access to it. And how you can use it doesn't mean somebody else can use it the same way. Sometimes I will literally talk to my AI, so meaning that or to ChatGPT, I'm able to speak to it. But then again, if somebody can only speak one language, some AIs are not very good at that. Focus on AI is on enhancing human abilities, not replacing jobs. Yes, there is the case where are my jobs going to be taken? In some cases, they are. There's no doubt about it. Particularly in the tech sector, it has been shown that entry-level jobs are going away very quickly because of AI. Now you have to use the AI to start your own business, which is very good. But also not great. So it's a give and take. Safety protocols and ethical guidelines are integral to AI system design. Yes, sometimes safety is good. Sometimes you don't really need it because AI systems, depending on the application, you don't need it. They can deliver personalized, empathetic interactions with users. The first AIs that Microsoft did actually got very violent and very insulting. It's called Cortana. People used to send it messages and it would just reply with the most vulgar of things. Again, telling you AI is not entirely safe. Please use it with caution. AI has been in development for decades and is widely integrated into daily life. No, that's not the case. AI is still very much in the early stages of actual adoption. Recent, we are able to see it. And AI systems can operate offline once they are set up. That's also not true. Offline AI systems are very rare because the amount of space you need and servers you need for just one country, take the size of this room, not even one country, for like one user, takes this entire size of this room, just because of the amount of computers that you need to run these AI systems sometimes. Yeah, so some examples, AI and virtual assistants, you've seen these. You can set reminders. In healthcare, I've talked about it. Recommendation systems, I've talked about Netflix. Safety and security. Security systems are very interesting because you're able to, I don't know if you've seen motion detections on your cameras. Do people have CCTV cameras? There's some very good motion detection which can even differentiate between a person and a car. So if you want to see a person but not a car, you can just tell it, hey, give me an alert for that. It's very good right now. Transportation, I've talked about it. Communication, these are very good right now. Whenever I read, for example, if you don't want to read 60 pages of research papers, you can throw it into Notebook LM and ask for a podcast of a research paper. It's so very good. So it takes your understanding or learning of something from 61 pages or even 300 pages to a 10-minute or 18-minute show that you can listen to while you are walking. Daily assistance is very good as well. I've heard of stories of people talking to AI in their mother tongue to explain a specific thing for work and then getting the output and responses in English, so that it's so much easier. If you dream in Kalenjin, you can talk to AI in Kalenjin, and it'll help you do that. Financial services, I've talked about that. The advantages, they're very good. And then the challenges, of course, are that there is, there are different challenges around ethical use of data. There is also privacy concerns, whether your data is being stored. There's jobs being lost. Or here we actually called it job displacement, meaning that some jobs will go away, but then new jobs will come up because of AI. So it's job displacement. Yeah. And then bias, meaning that if you ask AI, is Africa a country? And then it says yes. You're like, what data sources are you using? So that's a bias. Okay, cool. There's a lot that is happening at the moment that is exciting, and there are a lot of Kenyans who are contributing to this. So please look out online. You can use, let me show you these examples. Oh yeah, sorry, let me just go through this. There's photo editing programs that use AI, AI in music creation, AI with education. There's public education programs. And then, so there's a lot of these. There's even UNICEF is doing some work. In Kenya, UNDP is doing some work on that, so please check them out. The impact of AI, it's transforming all the industries, and these are some of the examples of AI that you can use. So I'm just going to stop there because this is very general, but I know you might have a lot of questions, and we have about, how long, 20 minutes, 15 minutes? 7:30. I'm going to try and leave early, or rather make it on time. But I'm here for as long as you need me, but I want to make sure that we leave on time. So, perfect. And that is artificial intelligence. Is it very intelligent? Maybe. Is it very dumb? No. Thank you. Questions? There was that question of AI jobs, Amanda, but yes, displacement is more correct. No, everyone understands AI, and we're good. Aya, go and teach it. Okay.
I would like to know, how have you adopted AI yourself? Yes. Yeah.
Wow, okay. So, yeah, no, I use AI almost every day. So for writing code, as I said, writing software programs, it's fantastic. For brainstorming ideas, I really enjoy it because it can give me ideas that I didn't think about. Yeah, those two, and also, of course, summarizing documents. It's very good at that. So that's how I use AI. Yeah. Directly. Thank you.
How can developers adapt in AI? Adapt using AI in their workflows?
Question. So in software development, it's very direct. Do you use something called VS Code? Okay, there are integrations with VS Code that you should definitely take advantage of that are free, or use something like Windsurf, which is a great option. Or see me after this. Okay, great. Because I think, is there any other software developer? Yeah. Yeah, you did give me software developer vibes. Yeah, so there's one other software. So if you want to see me after this. I have a lot of tools and tips and tricks for that.
So we're seeing that AI is currently getting out of hand with the videos that are going around and audio. So how do you differentiate between AI-generated video or content and something that is real? Yes.
So there are a few tips and tricks of knowing when a video or an image, and they're getting better. So they're getting better, which is getting harder to understand when an image or a video is AI generated. There's some tips people always look for is the fingers. Oh, do you have an entire list? Oh, good. Okay, go for it.
In videos that may contain things like wheels, most of the time you won't see wheel movement. You'll see like the object is moving without the wheels moving. Then another thing is eye movement. You'll see they are blinking slowly and it's not consistent. Then another thing is interactions. Like in physical interactions, you can collide with somebody and you'll see like, yeah. But then in AI, you can see like people merge and like, you can't see the separation between them. Then even the fingers, you'll see like the hand looks like one entire organ. It doesn't look like separate fingers. Yeah, or they look like one thing. Yeah.
Changing, and they're always fixing it, but it's getting better. It's getting a lot better. So I'd definitely say try and watch as many AI videos so you'll know the vibe of an AI video is what I found has been very helpful. So there are a few YouTube videos that just give you AI videos and then you watch them, then you're able to say, okay, cool. Now I understand the look and feel of because they all have a certain pattern of things that you'll immediately spot. And your mind actually will create its own patterns to notice. But yeah, very good question. Asante.
Just a quick one. I've seen students fail because they used AI to do some assignments. And yeah. Now I wanted to ask, how would you, maybe, I don't know how to put it, but what is the most effective, maybe AI app or whatever, the ones you have written, Jamin and what have you, such that probably if you use it, you can just say that the content I've received is probably 50% correct. Because at times you use, I've seen people fail exams, and when somebody tells you, anakwambia, unajua tulitumia AI, ikatupea. And I think one of the misconceptions we have now if it's artificial intelligence inainatoka kwa computer, everybody believes whatever is there is correct. Yeah. And now I fear if a preacher was invited to preach in SPF and decides I have no time, but let AI write this message, and then whatever he preaches there is completely out of place. So how would you say at least whatever is the content? I know the Gen Zs have a very nice language, but I want to find out if it gives me this content, I can at least say it's 50% what? Correct.
I really like that question because it goes also to your process of adopting these tools as a person who would adopt it. If you Google something, is what I like to say, if you do a Google search on any topic, would you trust everything you see, or would you take some steps of checking, verifying that information? You would, right? So you'd say, for example, oh, this information is coming from, say, for example, Moi University. It's probably more true than something that's coming from, Lutuli Avenue College of, something. I don't know, a non-existent thing. So it's the same thing with AI. Unfortunately, it's like Google search. Everything you're getting is a conglomeration of everything on the internet and some ideas that it has that could be on the internet. Number one, so you have to check everything. Number two is which one is the best and less likely to make mistakes. It's the one that you pay $200 a month, which is about, right now is what, 30K? About 30,000 shillings a month. ChatGPT is very good. Or the other one for Claude, which is Anthropic. So any of these that you pay at the highest level are the best at the moment. Because they will give you source citation, they'll give you, but you still have to go look at the source, because that source might not exist anymore and everything. But they are better than the free thing. So if you are not paying for it, hey, just know that that one is like 1% trust. But if you're paying for it, you're getting closer to 80%. Yeah, but nothing, you cannot trust any of these systems. Thank you for that question. There's a question back here.
It was actually similar to that, because I wanted to ask, in your workspace, how do you verify?
How do you verify?
From the AI that it is true, and so that you're able to use it on your clients, knowing that it's actually a true thing.
Okay. I don't know if anyone saw the recent news that Deloitte had to return some money to the US government. $440,000. Sorry, our question was, how do you verify, if you did not hear, how do you verify that it's true? $440,000 to write a report for the US government. And they cited cases that did not exist. Why? Because they used ChatGPT. And they had to return that money. 440,000, what was that? How much is that in Kenya shilling? I don't even know. 7 million, some ridiculous amount. Maybe 70 million. It's a lot of money. So that's the same idea, is that if you're not verifying or checking whatever these systems are giving you, no matter how much you're paying, you're going to return a bit of money. So do not trust them, I would say, not yet at least. Do your research, do your due diligence. And how I do it is definitely I will root through every single thing that AI gives me. And I will test it like 5 times, even if it's software. Cool. All right. Question. Back. There.
I don't know if you addressed this in your main presentation, but copyright and originality issues. So say I write a song on AI or I do a painting on AI. How do I prove it's mine? And is it possible for somebody else? Because it's input. So I say, write for me a worship song for Easter, and somebody else does the same input. So the issues of originality and copyright, how? And plagiarism as well. Well, plagiarism, we kind of handled it with.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly, that's a good question. So if you don't care that much about originality and you don't mind having copies of the same idea or same thing, then yeah, go ahead and do that. You could, of course, edit it and be able to say, hey, could you make me a song of Easter in the tune of a Kalenjin song? Maybe no one else asks for that, so maybe that's more original. There's a philosophical question as to, is there anything that is really original? Because there's this like quote that is quoted by Steve Jobs, who made the Apple computers, and he says, good designers copy, great designers steal, which is, I know, so you steal a design. Yeah, so, yeah, so originality is a very contentious topic that is philosophical. It depends on your taste. You know, it's in the eye of the beholder. But then in terms of copyright, at the moment, any work that you generate with AI, it's sort of yours to say that you generated it, and therefore, even though you use this tool, it's actually yours. And we actually went quite deep with a lawyer, she's Kenyan, but from Harvard, and we went through like the different laws that are copyright laws in Kenya, in the US, everywhere. And right now, yes, the generated AI content it's yours. You own sort of the copyright, so that's kind of the thing. As to the data that's being used to train those AIs, is another copyright question. The court in the US has just ruled that it's covered under fair use, so meaning that you cannot claim that your copyrighted material was used to train an AI, and therefore you will make money off of that AI making money, because it's fair use is sort of, it was fairly used to not replicate what you're doing, but essentially learn from what you're doing, and it's a mix of things. So unless it can, give an output, and it's still very contentious and might go to Supreme Court. So this will be fun to watch. Yeah, but good question. Thank you. I have said many words there. For a late evening, I apologize. Any questions?
I think I have one more question.
Okay.
I'm a parent of 2 boys. One is 9, another one is, I think, 4, almost 5. Yeah. So then the Gen Alpha, like I think 1 month ago in school, I don't know who introduced them to AI. Now my son in the house, when he's doing his homework, he knows how to use AI at 9. And also about, he loves football. So any argument you have with him, hataongea mingi. Yeah, he'll just the computer and search. So my question is, I'm happy but worried. Like I want to be with him every time to control. Okay, I've controlled what he watches, but now using AI. Okay, myself, I love using AI. So I don't know how, as a parent, how can we equip ourselves on how to control it? Yeah.
That's a very good question. How do you control that? So at the moment, yes, it falls under the same kind of parental controls that you have over access to devices and access to the internet. You can put settings on your devices to say, hey, limit the amount of time that they use on a specific app. Maybe in this case, it's ChatGPT, because you can limit the amount of time they have on games or on YouTube, or even limit entire physical access to the device. I can definitely tell you that as a technologist myself, my childrens will have very limited access to tech and mobile devices, and particularly the internet. So it falls under the same thing, is use the same strategies that you are limiting YouTube, add more access controls to that. I think it's a great idea. I can see one hand, I think. No? Okay, good. But thank you for that question. Last question, and then we'll have 15 minutes for, I think there's some more biscuits. Yeah.
Yes, my last question. Now that AI is here, how do technologists like us keep ourselves relevant according to the job market? Now that AI is here.
I'm a big fan of, how many people watch Ndindi Nyoro's videos? Not a lot of people here. Ndindi Nyoro, do you know who that is? Yeah. His recent video with the Rotary Club, he said, I'm not even going to talk about jobs because we need to become entrepreneurs. That's what I'm going to encourage you right now. The technologists, think of a business that you can start. Think of a problem that you can solve. And the AI will help you do that very easily, in fact. A lot easier than what it was before. When I started writing software, I was very fortunate to win a Google Award. I was still in university. I won a Google Award in all of Africa as number one. In all of Africa, with all the software developers, software engineers who are much older than me. I was in university. And I always went there and I said, Google was my friend because I had access to information and I had access to a technology that most people were not thinking of using to do their work. That's the same thing I can encourage you for. ChatGPT is your friend or whichever of these are your friends. Don't rely on the job market. Find a problem, solve the problem, and start that work. Aya, asanteni sana. Bosire for inviting me and asanteni for staying all the way. Wow. Congratulations to you. A round of applause to you. And yes, you can find me through Bosire or whoever will share my contacts and all of these documents. Thank you.
Let's appreciate him again. Thank you so much. So because we are also on Microsoft, we are also privileged to have the full version of Copilot. Copilot is the AI for Microsoft. So we have the full version. You don't pay. Wale watu SPF. Amen. And then currently also, through the back door, we are getting ChatGPT 5. To a Copilot. So you can use both of those ones. And this is basically the beginning of when you want to, ukisikia AI, it's something like this one. It's like Google. Then when you're here, you can tell it whatever you want to say. And it does what you want to say. An amazing thing you can do is also, for example, tell it, compose our 1500 to 2000 essay comparing Paul's view on the life. And then it does that. Then you can tell it, use Kenyan English. Word, yes. Yes. Yeah. So these are the tools that are available. One thing that we need to go out of here with, this is a window of opportunities. Like he's trying to say, any tech person, so anayeka in ni kama anasema tu akienda. But actually, go make this your friend, ask those questions. What's the best business idea I can start in Eldoret? What is the need that I can solve in Eldoret? It has data, it will help you decide that one. One of the things I recently told it to do, I uploaded our constitution for the church and asked it, find mistakes in this constitution and any logical issues. It found a few actually. It found a few and suggested what, and it compared with CITAM and KAG and whatever, any other church that is related. It found solutions from that one. So, hata sisi wale wenye hatujasoma Kenyan Constitution, kama uko na PDF, upload it here, uulize now, what can we do to bring this? I think you're getting the gist. It is a solution platform. And it's like suddenly you have all the best brains in the world at your fingertips. You can ask them the questions and they can write for you something, they can tell you something. It's like the president. The president normally doesn't write his speech. He has the best person, right? Anamwambia mimi nataka 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, niandike hiyo. He writes that one. So imagine we have been given the same power that the president has. You can get the best brains, not just in Kenya, around the world. And that is collectively wote wakusaidia in a particular task. So let's find solutions. And it can do even budgets for you. You can tell it, I want to begin an Airbnb. Write for me the budget of what I need. Perfectly well. In Kenyan shillings. And you can tell it now, find for me where are the cheapest things I can get, for example, mattresses in Eldoret. Some of them even don't have, even not some of them, there's a microphone here. Here. You can click and talk to it. Na inakuambia vitu. Inasema, yeah, that one. Kizungu yetu ni ngumu kidogo kwa sababu ya accent, but after some time it also learns. Hizi nini zetu na mistakes zetu na me I want. That's Kenyan English. Me I want to go. We understand each other. So it learns those things. And vile amesema Africa does not have a lot of information online. So bado kuna vitu ukiongea kikisi umeiweka nje kidogo. But English, it will pick and it will help you a lot. Now, the things about ethics na vitu kama hizo. So I've been in seminary, I can ask you to do a paper for me, an essay. But kama mimi, as a Christian, a conscience, I can't hand in that paper. I can't hand in, sasa hii ni mimi. Hata mwalimu, one of the things that makes people fail is the student and the English that is there. And then there are actually tools inside Microsoft, there are plugins inside Microsoft Word that you can add and they can say, this is AI generated. It highlights them just automatically. So ukiand in paper, mwalimu afanye kitu, vile anasoma tu kwa Microsoft yake, inaonyesha AI, hii paragraph, hii 99% AI. 1% ndio wewe jina yako na date. Hiyo zingine ni AI generated. So it's an opportunity and at the same time it requires a Christian. Most of this technology requires that people are Christians. Actually, if you don't have ethics, this is a hole that can take you away from God completely as well. Sawa? So currently also what we need to do, and also personally I'm trying to do, learn how to ask the right questions. Prompts, they are called prompts. That is the thing you need to, how can I learn how to talk to AI in a way that it understands me and it brings out what I'm looking for? If you do that, you are onto something. You are onto something. Sawa? And it's a solution, na ni kama kisu tu. A knife can be a very good thing, but also at the same time it can be used for bad things. The same thing na AI. Sawa? So for the church staff na watu wa leadership, those who have if you have an email yenye nasema spf.church umepewa, all these are also accessible for you. We have that privilege. Amen? Sawa. Think we have finished there, unless kuna question ingine mtu anaweza leta. The best way you can try, for example, the teams that we spoke about earlier, join the morning prayers or any other meeting in the church, try to find your way around there. These things are not going away. And the ones who adopt these systems earlier, are normally ahead of the game. So the church is trying to help us to be ahead of the game ya watu wengine. Ile mtu akitengeneza, nani aliuliza sermon ya mtu ametengeneza sermon ya AI? Actually it has happened. See church, lakini imesha happen mahali. It can help you get the ideas, but if you don't know the Bible also, it will show when you're doing it here. It will show that huyo msee ametumia hiyo word na atumiangi hiyo word. Propitiation, hiyo ni nini sasa? Na unajua mtu ajio. So it is a very good tool to those who already have some knowledge in them. If you don't have, it will make it worse for you. You'll get lost in the whole process. Sawa? This is the beginning of these talks. We'll have more of them. Leo ilikuwa tu ni introduction. If you're confused, you're in the right class. Because that is how it starts. And slowly, you'll get the idea. It is not too complex. We actually can get our minds around this one. And some people, for Christians, tutaanza kusema, this is from the devil. That's what happened when barcode. Unajua barcode inakuanga kwa products. The first time ilikuwa 666, ndio? I remember even when M-Pesa came, tulikuwa nafikirianga, how can you give offering to God? Aje sasa. Unafaa kuwa na cash money. I think the basic thing about the Antichrist is this. Whatever he comes with will require you to worship him. Kama you're not required to worship anyone at the moment, don't worry. So, it will be tied to worship. Whatever he'll come up with will be tied to worship. Notice that. Hiyo ndio usicross your line. Hapo kufa tu, but usicross your line ya worship anyone apart from Jesus. Haya, chatumalizia hapo. Let me see our most senior person. Yes, tuko na senior person hapa. Admin, tafadhali kuja tufungie mkutano. Pigeni makofi. But then this song, I wanted to play it. It's completely AI generated. I think, sorry. Yeah. One minute. I think there was one that had a video, that the video is also tumejiona. So there are some songs that are on YouTube now, making songs. They are not musicians, but they are making songs and they are earning, and then hawajaishika microphone, AI generated, now they are getting views. That's what I wanted to show you. The whole song, compose a song and make a video for it without touching anything at the studio manini ama musician.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you, Bosire, for organizing this session to enlighten us on the current trends in technology and also to encourage us to embrace the technologies that have been developed. And for all of you, thank you for coming and just sitting there patiently when you would have been somewhere, but you chose to be here, be part of this enlightenment. Let's pray. Our Father and our God, we want to thank you this evening. Thank you for your goodness. Thank you for the opportunity that you've given us to even share and to get this information, and also the encouragement that we should not fear to embrace the things that make our life easy, especially in our workplaces, in our businesses, in education, and all other aspects of our lives. So, Lord, we thank you this evening for what we have learned, and we thank you. As we go back to our homes, we pray that, Lord, you take us safely, each one of us, and even as the night comes, give us a restful night and rejuvenate our energies. We thank you, glorify your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you. Yes. Jesus Christ and the love of God, fellowship of the Holy Spirit,
be with us now and forevermore. Amen. So thank you for coming. God bless you. This is the beginning of these things. We just don't want church to be at the things we call spiritual peke yake. We want our people also to be aware of what the world is about. So we'll continue this kind of things, God willing.